It was another day of unprecedented high temperatures across Arizona, and tomorrow, sorry to tell you, it will be even hotter. Thanks for joining us tonight for 12 News at 10. I'm Mark Curtis. We have team coverage of this dangerous heat wave. 12 News journalist Maria Stobbs is tracking how people without AC can stay safe as these temperatures continue to rise. But first, let's get to meteorologist Lindsay Riley. And Lindsay, we set a new record all over the state today.
We sure did, yes. All-time March records, several of them coming down. And check out this stat. Today in Martinez Lake, Arizona, that's a little bit north of Yuma, we hit 110 degrees. That is the highest March temperature ever recorded in the United States. And this is not just Arizona specific. This is the entire U.S. And that happened just today. In addition to that, we set a lot of March records. For example, Phoenix topping out at 105 today. That is the hottest March temperature we've ever had out at Sky Harbor. But we also had that happen today in Payson and Prescott with temperatures there in the 90s. We've never hit the 90s in those areas before. 84 degrees in Flagstaff. That's the warmest March temperature ever. Mid-80s in Page, Show Low, and triple digits in Lake Havasu. So this was widespread. Not only did we set records just for today, but we set monthly and seasonal records as well. Temperatures have come down, but it's still warm out there. It's 93 out at Sky Harbor. We're still going to wake up to temperatures in the 70s early tomorrow morning, but this extreme heat warning continues through Sunday, and both Friday and Saturday will be even hotter than today. I'm tracking those temperatures and additional records in jeopardy in my full forecast. Mark.
All right, Linz, thanks. This dangerous heat is hitting a lot earlier than usual, and some key resources just aren't ready. Let's continue our team coverage with 12 News journalist Maria Stobbs. And Maria, normally, once we get into the dog days of summer, there are cooling centers everywhere. What about right now?
That's right. Right now, they're not ready just yet. One of the biggest gaps right now is the Heat Relief Network. It's a valley-wide map of cooling centers and water sites, but right now it's not up and running. If you try to look it up, you'll see this. The Heat Relief Network map will be live on May 1st. Until then, people experiencing homelessness are left with fewer options in dangerously high heat.
Francisco Garza has experienced homelessness for a decade.
It gets very hard when it gets real hot like this.
And it's not just him, it's his dog too.
He gets real hot real easy. He's got fur, so he gets hot a lot easier than I would.
He's used to triple-digit summer heat, but not in March.
It's getting real hot early, real fast.
Phoenix hit 105 degrees Thursday. That's about 25 degrees above average.
And I don't want him getting overheated.
Across the valley, only Mesa has opened cooling centers early. In Phoenix, city officials say public libraries remain open year-round, offering air-conditioned relief during normal operating hours.
Having our facilities, our libraries, for example, open during the day is going to help us address the most critical portion of the day when we're seeing the most dangerous conditions.
In Tempe, nonprofit Arizona Hugs is stepping in to fill the gap.
In situations like this, when weather comes out of nowhere, we have to, work together to figure out a plan on how to adjust.
Volunteers setting up a cooling space at Community Christian Church, providing water, ice, and shade.
Everywhere you go, you see homeless people. And if you are feeling hot as someone who is housed, imagine how the homeless are feeling. So this is very important to have somewhere that welcomes everyone, no matter where they come from.
For people like Francisco, it can make all the difference.
It's good to know that if I need to, I come over here and get them cool instead of being out there and having them overheat. Hopefully it doesn't go on next summer like the same way as it's doing this year, getting early. If it does, hopefully we're off the streets by then, because it's a bit hard.
And Arizona Hugs will be back out tomorrow, handing out water and ice near the Tempe Public Library. On Saturday, they're partnering with University Presbyterian Church to provide a cooling center. In studio, Maria Stobbs, 12 News.
Okay, Maria, thanks. New tonight, Gilbert police are searching for a man that they say stabbed another man last Saturday. It happened near Gilbert Road and Vaughn Avenue. A woman said the man forced his way into their home. When he left, the woman and her husband followed him, and that's when officers say the suspect stabbed the husband. His injuries are not life-threatening, but if you recognize this man, call Gilbert police. Also in Gilbert tonight, officers are investigating a deadly crash. This is video from the scene near Warner and McQueen. We're told one driver was rushed to the hospital where they later died. The other driver was not seriously injured. Tonight, detectives are trying to figure out what caused the crash. Arizona Republicans are advancing a bill that would remove Cesar Chavez Day as a state holiday. It comes after a bombshell New York Times report that says the civil rights icon abused young women and children. Tonight, we've also learned the Phoenix Union High School District has called a special meeting to discuss the future of Cesar Chavez High School, as well as the district's recognition of Cesar Chavez Day. That meeting is scheduled for March 26th at 5:30 in the afternoon. New at 10, two Phoenix parents are pushing for a ban on a substance that's sold at local gas stations and smoke shops. Use of the substance forced their 17-year-old son into rehab. 12 News journalist Tiani Jadalang joins us live in studio. She talked with a mother today and also a medical expert to try to learn more about 7-0 and kratom. Tiani?
Mark, it's called 7-hydroxyperoxide, and medical experts say it's the most potent form of what many know as kratom, something they're saying is just as addictive as many opioids like fentanyl, OxyContin, and heroin.
We noticed some behavior changes, very erratic behavior. A lot of people, they have weird muscle movements, and we just noticed something was going on.
Sarah and Chad Lewis explained some of the behavior changes their 17-year-old son experienced after he started taking these Nums kratom tablets and this feel-free kava and kratom drink. He said it was to help with his anxiety, but it was this moment the Lewises decided their son needed serious help.
It got to the point where he actually was thinking about taking his life, and he reached out to us and said, I need help. I cannot do this on my own.
According to the product's website, both substances contain kratom and 7-hydroxymitragynine. Dr. Frank Lavecchio, an emergency physician, breaks down where these substances come from.
Kratom comes from a plant from Southeast Asia, and you probably see it as 7-hydroxymeritaginin. Okay, I'm not pronouncing it well either. But and this plant that people use in Southeast Asia for pain relief, they put it in their mouth and they kind of suck on it a little bit, and it kind of gives them some pain relief.
The medical expert tells 12 News across the country companies have taken that plant and extracted the most potent portion of it, which he says acts on the body's opiate receptors, meaning even when users stop taking these products, the withdrawals can be tough on the body.
103 fever for 2 weeks straight.
Not sleeping for days on end.
Muscle aches.
With products like these out for anyone over 18 to buy at a smoke shop or gas station, the Lewises want to raise awareness of the harm they say these substances could cause.
I think we need to get this out into the public so that people are aware of what this is, so that they can have conversations with their children about the dangers of these substances that are being sold as something natural and safe, because they are 100% not.
While Arizona was one of the first states to regulate kratom through the Kratom Consumer Protection Act, the Attorney General notes that additional protections can be difficult to enforce in practice due to the need of lab testing and expert testimony. Live in studio, I'm Tiani Jadaling, 12 News.
All right, Tiani, thanks. Today, federal regulators approved the sale of 12 News and our parent company, Tegna, to Nexstar. The deal will create the largest operator of local TV stations in the country. In a statement, FCC Chair Brendan Carr said in part, the FCC has been focused on empowering broadcast TV stations to serve their local communities. Today's agency decision does exactly that. If you care about local news, you should care about the future of local broadcast TV stations. However, not every FCC board member supports the merger. Commissioner Ana Gomez said in part, this merger was approved behind closed doors with no open process, no full commission vote, and no transparency for the consumers and communities who will bear the consequences. The consequences of this rubber stamp approval will be felt in living rooms and newsrooms across the country, resulting in fewer voices, less competition, and higher costs for consumers. We don't know what, if anything, will change here at 12 News, although in today's opinion, the FCC said the Nexstar plans to expand in Phoenix by adding news on the local CW station. Today's FCC ruling came just hours after 8 attorneys general filed a lawsuit trying to block the merger.